By the way, Lizzie there has been a survivor for more than 18 years and still staying with cancer. I am and I will is the theme for this year's commemoration. Many Nigerians now have knowledge about cancer following constant enlightenment campaigns, but has this translated to a reduction in the prevalence of cancer in the country? Dr. Tor A is an integrative specialist. He now joins me live in the studio. You're welcome, Doctor, to Nationwide.
My pleasure. Always nice to be here.
All right. What is the situation of cancer now as regards the prevalence rate in Nigeria?
Well, the rate is actually really escalating. And this is good to say that we must know, why do we have cancer? What causes cancer? In the past, when you ask people, even those specialists, they say nobody knows exactly what is the cause of cancer. But 90 to 95% causes of cancer now has been known and attributed to environmental, factors. Out of these, 35% is due to our diet. And also, there is a new paradigm based on the, research that has actually emerged. Gone are the days where we used to link cancer as predominantly a genetic disease. No, cancer is not a genetic disease. What we normally say is that, the environment actually loads the gun, and it is the genes that pulls the trigger. So just 5% is due to, genetic, factors. This is to say that cancer is very complex. It is nebulous. It is multifactorial and multi-systemic failure of the body systems. It's not something that you can do. If you really want to know, cancer has actually undergone what we call 3 paradigms. The first paradigm was where we say, we claim not to know anything about, cancer. And so we just define it as being proliferative of the abnormal cells, growth. Then we came to the phase where it was known as, it was known as, it was known as the genetic, phase. And that is what led to actually, led to the genome, studies. The genome study was a study that was actually launched by former President, Clinton of the United States, where they map over the 25,000, different genomes or genes of the body. They came out conclusively that cancer is not due to genetic, malformation. We actually our bodies produces over 10,000 mutations in a day. If it was genetic, we will all be cancer all over. So the third phase is what we call the evolutionary trend of, cancer. That is our present understanding of, cancer.
Okay, now that we understand what this is all about and the likely causes.
Yes.
Any breakthroughs recently in the management and treatment of this condition?
Well, there have been quite a number of things, based on the understanding that it was genetic. Most of, the pharmaceutical drugs were actually developed on suppressing the genes or doing this. But now we've come up with what is known as the integrative management or the integrative management, approaches. With the integrative management approaches, you see that we've in as much as you're doing the conventional ways of doing chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and surgery. But because we say cancer is multifactorial and very complicated, we adopt an integrative approach in the management of cancer. You have to detoxify the body. You have to change, the diet. You have to use some of the specific cytotoxic, products like, vitamin C. But vitamin C, high doses is known to selectively kill only cancer cells. And then you have other things like B17. Then you have some of these, amino acids, proline, lysine. They selectively kill cancer cells. There are so many ways you can selectively kill only cancer cells and not kill the cancer cells and the normal cells now. This is also one of the trends that is in the way.
Okay, Dr. Agbide, we are living with what has become the new normal. That's the COVID-19.
Yes.
And you are an expert in integrative medicine.
Thank you.
Speak to somebody suffering or living with this condition at this moment. What would be your word to that person?
Well, The bottom line is that why do you first of all calm down with any disease, including cancer, and then COVID is because the immune system is totally compromised. So this is to say that we must have to boost our immune system. Believe you me, if our immune system is up and running and we are protected against diseases. Even when that disease comes into the body can manage it more safely, and we cannot advance to intensive care unit or even die. So boosting immune system is the key.
Thank you very much. We truly appreciate your coming on Nationwide today.
My pleasure. Always nice.
And we are not done.